Alright. Sorry I'm running just a little bit late. I was getting my client updated and what have you. Getting everything ready to go. Make sure I'm actually being broadcasted. Alright, let me see here. Refresh the page. Yep, I see myself live. And I am live. Hello, 790, Forehand, Ravenloft, Red Piney, Woody Hart, Darrelai, Master Robert, Semus, everyone over on YouTube and everyone over on Facebook, welcome to the weekly Wednesday lunchtime live stream here on twitch.tv/DDO stream, youtube.com/Dungeons and Dragons/live, and facebook.com/DDO Unlimited. I am DDO's Community Manager Cordovan, and spoiler alert. Light spoiler alert. So, last week I had put out a call to the community to get back to me with your opinion as to whether or not I should show a spoiler light preview of Ravenloft, which as of yesterday is now available for preview on our Lamania public preview server. And the overwhelming number of reports I got was, please do, but please keep it fairly spoiler light. I know some folks, since it went up last night on Twitch, have just been like, yo, G, I'm running all the quests, come see. I am not doing that today. However, some people want to just get a taste, just a look of, okay, so what is this going to look like? Maybe before I buy an expansion pack or something like that. I just kind of want to see what I'm getting myself into. So here's the deal. I'm going to be showing the Barovia public area. I'm going to be showing the entrance states of most of the quests that are available on Lamania. There's like 6 of them. And I'm going to be showing the transition quest to Ravenloft. If that's too much of a spoiler for you, then tune out in a couple of minutes. But I wanted to start off the show by not being there, and by giving those a chance who want to ask a question but not see Ravenloft spoilers the opportunity to do so. So, if that is you, if you had a question that you wanted to ask but you don't want to see the spoilers, now's the time to ask it. And I will answer those questions before I switch over to the Lamania public preview server, which is going to be up until probably sometime Friday for our very first Ravenloft preview. We are going to be doing several previews before it's all said and done. Quick note, because I always get asked, what is the bonus this week? The bonus this week is double crafting XP, so that'll be double Caneth crafting experience. Not too bad there. Double ain't bad. And that starts on Thursday, late morning, and runs through Sunday. Also want to thank everyone who gave us positive feedback on the Night Revels. It seems like it was a pretty successful Night Revels this year. You know, minus some of the traditional lag and things like that we have seen. One thing we may do, and it's kind of a bummer, but at the same time, we think it'll solve a lot of the quote lag problems in Night Revels. There is a chance that when it returns next year, rather than being a public instance of Delara's Graveyard, when you port in, it's going to be a private instance. So just you and your buddies who might be in a group with you. The reason for that is generally the big cause of performance issues in Night Revels is having too many people in a shared public instance that's set up for combat. You know, all those Warlock auras, having more than 10 people in there, just a whole bunch of things over time is the reason we see that kind of performance hit. So we can solve this problem by basically making it a private instance instead. And we didn't really want to do that because sort of the public social nature of the event is fun. But ultimately, there's a pretty good chance that if we were to do that, it would solve instance crashes and things like that. So, nothing set in stone. That may not happen, but that's what we were talking about towards the end of this year's Night Revels is, you know, we didn't want to do it, but if we did it, it would solve all these problems. And since the feedback has been overwhelming that, hey, Night Revels is awesome, except, you know, maybe we might do that next year. So we'll see. Yeah, I think, Darrell, as you say, I think we would have to take a look at spawn rates and how things spawn, were we to do that. It would be part of an overhaul of that public area, essentially. So. Still got a couple of 2-3 second pauses yesterday on Caneth. It wasn't an instance crash. Well, we did actually have an instance crash on Caneth yesterday, so it's possible that it could have been that. But we are still looking into the kind of hitching reports. It appears to be a game client hitch, and we do have good video of that, including video I was able to provide to the dev team yesterday on kind of what's going on. So I know Torque was spending a little bit of time yesterday digging into that. He also has to work on, Ravenloft raid, you know, but he's carving out some time to spend some time to look into that as well. So hopefully we can identify the cause of that and solve it in the pretty near future. Sorry, Edward T, I can't really talk about things with Steam right now. Dun, 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 dun. I like that idea. Would it still support a raid group? I don't know. That's a good question. I mean, I think that would be the intention, but we haven't actually done the work yet, so nor has really even the design work, other than what I just said, hey, we should, been done, but possibly. Hello, Kevin. Hello, Tyler, over on YouTube. Hello, Billy, Scott, and Chris over on Facebook. Any hint if there will be Otto's boxes in the store before December 5th? Let's see, odds are good. I can't really talk about Black Friday sales and all the rest, but, you know. Expect us to pull out the full whammy for Black Friday, like usual. Alright, so that's that. There was one other piece I wanted to get to before I switched on over to Lamania, and that is to do a little bit of promotion for the Movember Foundation. This month, as usual, I am raising money for testicular cancer, prostate cancer, mental health, and suicide prevention through the Movember Foundation. Those are the 4 areas they specifically hyper-target with their yearly fundraisers. So that's why I got the kind of weird facial hair today. That's why I'm going to have it throughout the month of November and that sort of thing. So I am hoping to raise $2,000 for the Movember Foundation through this month's effort. So if you can even donate a couple bucks, that helps. There's enough of you out there that if everyone just donated a couple dollars, we would hit that goal. There is also Team DDO that is looking to raise some funds as well. They're at $730. We've got No Bob and me, and I believe Ferg, Shoemaker, and a couple other folks here, even. And some other folks. You too can join the Movember Team DDO if you are interested at just moteam.co/team-DDO. And my personal page for donations is mobro.co/Jerry Snook. So if you can just donate even a couple of bucks, I would really appreciate that. Check out the DDO forums as well. Per usual, I am giving away some incentives like custom forum avatars, custom forum titles. For group incentives, I'm giving away picks from the community loot list and DDO points codes. If you donate enough, I'll even hang out with you in-game. And I've got some other picks from the community loot list and things like that if you're interested in getting some of that sort of stuff. Weekend bonus, double crafting XP. What do I think of Alan Wee's idea about making a fiery crown matching the Blue Reaper cosmetic? Sounds cool to me. Yeah, that sounds pretty neat. Are we thinking about raising the level cap? This one comes over from Facebook. No. Probably not. That's not to say we'll never raise the level cap, but right now we've hit the, DDO cap of 30, which is sort of the typical level cap in the game. I think we're going to probably be there for a little while. Are there currently any job openings in the mailroom? No, but we do have a job opening. We utilize Daybreak's human resources for that, because frankly, I pay all these people and do all that work for the few times we do hiring. Might as well let our publisher take care of that stuff. So anyway, they do have a couple of positions open. We're actually interviewing next week for a marketing person. I know we have at least 2, maybe 3 candidates already on the short list there, so that one's kind of done, but you can still apply if you'd like to. The other thing, we are looking for a graphics person, I think. Let me actually see if I can call up that page and see if I can actually find out more about it. What is it? daybreakgames.com/careers. Yeah, here we go. Let me actually call that sucker up and see if I can find it for you. Alright, so you basically look for the Boston ones. Yeah, we are looking for a 3D character artist. This one is for Lord of the Rings Online. And we have got, like I said, right now we're looking for a marketing assistant. That job search is largely done at this point. We had a flood of applications on that one. But there is still time, I think, today if you were to send it in. To get that one in. So we have a couple of open positions, and you can, like I said, check that stuff out if you want to. I think we are actually going to, at some point, be hiring like an office assistant. Someone had said, can I get a job in the mailroom? And the answer is kind of yeah. But that job isn't posted yet. We haven't actually approved funding for it, but we kind of need someone to do a whole bunch of work around the office, frankly. So, none of these positions are remote. Is the pet rock on the community loot list? Yes, it is. Absolutely. Alright, so we're about 15 minutes into the stream. I've given people an opportunity to ask questions in a non-spoiler way. Are DDO Lotra part of the All Access Pass, or will it ever be? No and no. We're not part of Daybreak's All Access Pass. They are a publisher, but we kind of operate somewhat separately from them. And we have no plans to include it in the All Access Pass. What is the Fall Fest content pack? Darily? So Fall Fest, I'm not quite sure what you mean. Fall Fest is the in-house dev name for Night Revels. That's what it was called in the development environment before we gave it a name of the Night Revels. So if you're seeing something about a Fall Fest in text or something like that on Lamania, that's probably what it's talking about. Alright. Let's see. If I move from Canada, could we help me with a work visa to the United States? Good question. I don't know the answer to that, but I'm sure the human resources people would. I suspect the answer is probably yes. I think this wouldn't be the first time that something like that's come up, but I personally have no clue. I know that stuff gets pretty complicated pretty quickly, but it seems like something that might be possible. Alright. You have been warned. Oh, okay. The new Revels quest, when you exit from the door of the quest, it shows by the Fall Fest contact pack. Yeah, Fall Fest is the in-house development name for the Night Revels. That's all that is. Can I donate to Movember using my PayPal balance? I'm pretty sure you can. It's all done through the Movember Foundation, but I'm pretty sure I donated through PayPal to my own account. So yeah, I think that's no problem. Alright. Thee have been warned. I am going to be switching to spoiler light. Again, I am not going to run through the quests. I'm going to do my best to largely not show the story. I am going to show the Barovia public area, how you get to the Barovia public area, and the entrance states for some of the quests that are available for preview right now on Lamania. So, if that is like, I don't want to see that, tune out now. I'm actually going to have to call up something here. Let's see, that's, alright. I need to get some technical stuff from our jet page here. It'll be just a second. Because I'm keeping it spoiler light, and part of the way I'm keeping it spoiler light is by not showing stuff. Okay, cool. Thank you, Kokomo Jobo, for helping me out. Okay, I am changing the scene transition now. So again, if you don't want to show anything, see anything, tune out now, okay? There's going to be an entrance to Ravenloft from both Evening Star and Eberron. As you can see, I believe part of this is available right now on the live game worlds, but here's how it's going to work. It's over by the Evening Star Cave, and over in House Jurasco on that side. Mists of Ravenloft is what you're going to see here. You can step into the mists. This is a quest. Oh, let me get rid of my hints. Sorry. I had to create a new admin here for the show today. This is how you're going to get into Ravenloft. Yeah, right now you can get it basically for 1 DDO point. That's how we got around it for the Ravenloft preview. You're going to start in this area here. Now, I should also say that as per usual, this is our first Lamania preview. So there's a whole bunch of stuff that's not polished, that's not in yet, that's not decoed, that's not statted, that's, you know, whatever. Up to and including we actually have a lot of performance work to do in this public area yet. So if it's a little framey and that sort of thing, that's already being taken care of. We're basically right now we're not dynamically loading all the frills like we're supposed to on here, so that's why it's a little bit choppy. But that's already taken care of in the internal environment, and will be fixed in time. So there's a corpse in the grass here. Kind of giving you a sense of what's going on here. But yes, the frame rate on the Mist is not set yet, which is why it's kind of choppy the way it is. Yeah. Halt! Do you serve Strahd? No? Good. Come with me. This road is not safe. Do you have to own the Ravenloft to play it on Lamania? No. If you go to the test dojo, you can get free DDO points that apply only to Lamania, and you can buy the Lamania X-Pack, Ravenloft X-Pack on Lamania for 1 DDO point. And that's how we're kind of showing that stuff. Thanks for the pet rocks, by the way. Yeah, I'm glad to do it. Here is the rest shrines. You know, we tend to have rest shrines for new areas. Here are the Ravenloft rest shrines. Pretty groovy, if I do say so myself. let me move over to Facebook here. Yeah, so we do have the Night Revels still active on Argonessen and Orion, and that's because that very first weekend of the event, they had kind of a borked experience. So we extended it by a couple of days. That should be active until tomorrow morning when we activate the new quest bonus. So for those on Argo and Orion, this is your first, or your last night to do Night Revels. We got a Vistani wagon here and a Vistani traveler. As you can see, we don't have the DM Tech or Dungeon Master audio in yet. That recording actually has been taking place in recent days. We had one yesterday and one last week as well. So we're getting into the town of Barovia here. Let me call up something here I forgot to do. Give me my Aura of Smiting, the dev tool to beat all dev tools. Click and everything dies. Except unless you're named, in which case I gotta manually smite you. Alright, so you get out through the gate here. And that's basically how you get in there. It's just a short little lore-based quest to get you into Ravenloft. Now you'll see in the Ravenloft area we have a large public wilderness area. And I'm actually going to detach the camera if I can. Yep. And show off just a little bit. You can see the main castle up ahead. That is Castle Ravenloft and the town of Barovia. This is frankly, we were trying to decide if this is the largest public area we've ever done. It rivals the size or beats the size of the King's Forest. And it's a biggie. The quests are out here, although there are teleporters to the quests in the towns as well. But you can see you're going to be questing all the way throughout the wilderness area here, along with the Barovia landscape, and of course Castle Ravenloft and things like that. And again, just a reminder, we haven't kind of optimized the landscape area yet, so that's why it's a little bit on the framey side here. Does this count as one of the 12 quests for the expansion? No, this is a wilderness area in particular. Alright. I will not be going into the castle yet. I kind of want to keep that spoiler free. I might show a little bit, but not much. Vistani Scouts. Again, I've got my auto kill everything on. Yeah, if you want to see like all the quests run through, some other streamers and that have just run the quests on Lamania. I'm opting not to do that because I know a lot of people, myself frankly included, would like to experience that for the first time on live, although I have already had it spoiled because I had to do the walkthroughs for WotC and stuff, but, you know, whatever. We do have, you know, Explorer journals, similar to other things here, and there's quite a few of them. We've got 45 of the journals, along with 15 rare encounters, with multiple characters. Alright, so at this point I'm going to go into the public area, and one thing that you'll notice that's a little different in Ravenloft as well is somewhat similar to the way we do the Red Fens. The public area is right in the middle of the wilderness area. There's no kind of instancing there, so although you will be able to teleport directly into there and what have you. But it's not a a click on a portal to go into the public area. The wilderness area threatens the town of Barovia, which really is a lore thing here. So I'm going to detach the camera slightly and actually pan through some of the town of Barovia, where you'll be spending a lot of your public area time. Not only, though, there are other places that you'll be as well. But that's one of the things you'll see here is the town of Barovia. Yeah, that journal was really just kind of a, let me explain to you that there are journals out here journal. You'll be picking up quest things in here. There are multiple taverns in here. There's a whole bunch of cool stuff that happens that I don't really want to spoil. You know, we've got kind of a spooky graveyard, what have you. Yeah, I like the way we're doing it too. It's very cool. So you'll be able to teleport just directly into it and that, but it's also going to be there, you know, pretty easy to get to if you want to. You'll just stay on the path. Will the scarecrows be fixed to not be clay golems? Elemental immunities are way off? Probably. Yeah, we haven't really done the statting of that stuff yet. Average XP per journal. I don't think that's set yet, but I think actually, what did I get? It was something like 2,500. Is that right? Yeah, 2805 XP awarded. Although I get 255 for being VIP, so yeah, about 2,500 on average, I think, for the Explorer journals. Alright, so at this point, I am going to go into one of the public taverns here. And you'll see the NPC, this is going to be one of the main taverns that the core storyline goes through. And you'll see we also have, you know, a way to just get straight to various sections around the map here. And these are not Astral Shard ones, they're just plain old ones. So once you get there, you'll be able to teleport right there. ETA for release is December 5th is our target here. Okay, so here's one of the taverns. And I apologize, Bonnie Bew, but there is a dead owl bear in here. They're cruel folk in Barovia. We do have a spirit binder here as well that you'll be able to, you know, if you really want to not run through the wilderness area and you don't have a bottle of mist, you can slash death or whatever and you'll be right here. Alright, so I'm actually not going to click on the NPCs because I don't want to spoil things in terms of the storyline here. So what I'm going to be doing is going through a few of the quests, and again, these are not, I'm not running through the quests, I'm just going to show basically the intro areas to some of these things. Quisalon, we're being deliberately coy about how we're doing vet status 3, but it is level 10. It will be, when vet status level 3 is available, you'll be able to go to level 10. Are the quests different every time, like the PnP Ravenloft campaign? No. We are, you know, an adaptation for Dungeons & Dragons Online. That said, there are some pretty good nods to that flavor of Ravenloft throughout the quests. And again, I'm not going to be spoiling a lot of that sort of thing, but yes. There are some kind of optionals and alternate paths and things like that. Multiple ways to do things. Are there offices in Canada I can apply to work for doing a minor job? SSG definitely doesn't have offices in Canada. I don't actually know if Daybreak does or not. I don't think so. But I happen to know that Vancouver is sort of a video game hotspot, so that might be kind of what you're looking for. Alright, so I'm going to go into this quest here. Let's see. Here. Alright, so these quests are level 10, 11, 12 on Heroic, and 31, 32, 33 on Legendary, and that's going to be pretty standard throughout the entirety of the X-Pack expansion. So like I say, I'm not really going to show too much of these quests. I'm just going to very briefly kind of show just these intro areas here, and that'll be the extent of it. I'm not going to be leaving this next room here. But you are in a house where you're doing things. You see some of the kind of unique architecture that we have going on in the area. It has kind of its own Barovia flavor there. This one is a little bit of, well, I guess you might call it a bit of a haunted house style story here. On Lamania in Evening Star, there's a Harper's portal on the map, but no way to enter the building. What is that going to be? I'm not sure. If that's that, I'm not quite sure actually. I guess I need to look at that. I'm not aware that we have any kind of Harper thing in the works. Some of the music is also placeholder, Hephaestus. This is our very first Lamania preview, so some of it will probably be in here, but we do have other music that's coming. And Druid's Fire says, yes, Daybreak is just San Diego and Austin. Okay, that makes sense. Per usual as well, a lot of the deco in that is going to be being increased over these Lamania previews. So these are quests in a very, very early state. They're basically kind of about halfway between alpha and beta, if you really want to call it that. So you will see a bunch of things that will get additional deco and stuff over time. Alright, here is the second quest in kind of the first act of the storyline here. I'm actually going to detach the camera, show off a couple of cool things. This one clearly has a pretty cool windmill, which we have not really used elsewhere before, and that's pretty groovy. This one I know has got some kind of randomized elements in it as well. And this one gets to the plot pretty quick, so I'm actually not even going to go any farther than this one, because I don't want to get too much into what's going on here. I don't want to trigger any quest text or anything like that. But these people are clearly waiting for something. Fresh Baked Dreams. Do we share art assets with Lotro? Not really, but kind of. It's sort of a little hard to say. Like, you usually cannot just copy-paste one to the other, but there are some kind of elements that we can take. Like the Raven, a little bit, it had as its base model, I guess, a Raven from Lotro and things like that. Bob is the best whiteboard in the office. That's true. That's true. Yep. Are the load screens placeholder? Yes. No rights for the Rocky Horror Picture Show music? Correct. Well, a smattering of different worlds throughout DDO. What about incorporating Planescape? Could happen. We don't have anything to announce or anything like that, but, never know what's going to happen in the future. Planescape is not really all that popular a setting in general, so I'm not sure commercially it makes a lot of sense for us. But maybe. Alright, here is the third quest that's available for preview on Lamania. Is it like Stormhorns where you can feather fall from the mountain over most of the area? I don't believe you can feather fall from the mountain. But I know you can from Castle Ravenloft, because I done it. Alright. Again, I'm not going to move because I don't want to trigger any of the quest text here. But I do want to show off a pretty well-known figure from the Ravenloft series. This is Madame Eva. She is one of the Vistanis who has been gifted with True Sight, which is sort of a Vistani lore thing where they can kind of predict other people's future. They cannot actually predict their own future, but they can predict others' future. And it appears in both male and female Vistani, but generally male Vistani, if they're caught with the True Sight, are killed in the lore there, whereas the females are not. And there are males who avoid death and have the True Sight as well, but it's considered an aberration in males among the Vistani there. So we're going to be, clearly interacting with Madame Eva here in Ravenloft. Oh, I will say that this is, I believe, new as well. This is part of basically Strahd von Varovich's sort of family crest or whatever it is. Something like that. You'll see that sort of figure quite a bit throughout the area. Ravenloft is popular? Yeah, Ravenloft is very popular. There are times where there have been public polls and I6, like say the classic First Ed Ravenloft, depending on who you ask, is the most popular module of all time in First Edition. Some would also argue that Tomb of Horrors is on that list, but there was a couple of polls done years ago where it was just sort of internet people, and I6 is generally considered to be one of the best, if not the best, Classic Edition module. And Ravenloft has been successful for TSR and Wizards for a very long time now. And frankly, we think it's awesome. So that's what we're going to be going here, December 5th. And again, if you want to actually pre-purchase this yourself, you can go to ddo.com/Ravenloft and learn more about the packages and that are available. Alright, so now we're heading into a couple of these quests are from Act 2 and one from Act 3. And again, I'm not going to probably even move much, if any, on these things, because I don't really want to show anything off too much. But at this point, you can see that we are actually in... Oh, actually, I don't know if... No, this is a keep, actually. This is not Castle Ravenloft. This is a keep That's elsewhere, if I recall correctly on the storyline here. Or no, actually, no, I'm thinking about it. I think this... Well, whatever. I'm not going to spoil it. So... Yeah, it's level 10 on Heroic Normal, 11 on Hard, 12 on Elite, and then 31, 32, 33 on Legendary. The mist does not show correctly on the Lacerator cosmetic. Looks the same as the Sonic effect without the sound wave pulse. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Lacerator doesn't really have a particle effect on it. And typically on weapons without particle effects, the mist doesn't work. None of the weapon Rs really work all that great. What about a gypsy cosmetic for my wife? Any word on that? It's a cool idea. I mean, now we've got it, so that could happen. Oh, you thought it said 13 on Elite last night? Maybe that is true. We'll find out in just a second. Oh yeah, you're right. Okay. So it is 11, 12, 13 for this second arc here. Which makes sense. Alright, again, yeah, 11, 12, 13. This is also part of the second pack, A Raven at the Door. This one is indeed... Yeah, again, these art placements are not correct. We are now in Castle Ravenloft, this time uninvited. Let me show off just a little bit, just a sneak peek at some of the castle here. I don't want to show off too much because I know most people do not want to see Castle Ravenloft spoil. As a matter of fact, look at that. You can just see... Well, maybe if you're interested, I will actually move in just a little bit. Just so that you can kind of see what's up. So I can show off an interior of the castle. With all the text and that off, it shouldn't be too much. Yeah, we're going through the servants' quarters here at this point. Is that going to show? Nope, it's not going to show. Well, you know, I don't know if I really want to spoil too much of that, so I guess we're just going to leave it where it is for now, and not show off the inside of Castle Ravenloft too much. Is there going to be a heroic raid or just epic? At this point, I believe it's just epic, but I will check. And here is the last quest that I'm going to show off today. This one I can actually go into a little bit without getting too spoilery or anything. This one I believe also has got quite a bit of sort of variety to it. Oh, talk to Stefania first. Yeah, this will be a cool place to kind of show off a few things. Oh, yeah, that's a good point. So one of these things is actually a placeholder monster, because we have got a different monster that's going to be in Ravenloft that I don't know has really been announced much yet, so I guess I'm not going to spoil that here. But we are basically in a winery in this quest, working on things related to the plot. Alright, I guess one other thing I'm going to do then before we sort of wrap up our spoiler light preview is I do want to show off the hard work that's being done on Castle Ravenloft. So I'm going to show the exterior of Castle Ravenloft here by going through the wilderness area and give you a little bit of a sense of what's going on there. So keep in mind here, I've got I'm going to turn on my super speed, and you will get a sense of just how big Ravenloft is, the wilderness area is here. Should be a really neat explorer area. We have got, you know, random encounters and all sorts of, you know, typical things that you would see in these kind of areas. Yeah, we do too many more of these kind of things, and we may well have a use for mounts, huh? Yeah. Ah, yeah, this is the keep I was talking about. This is not Castle Ravenloft, but rather a different keep that you'll be seeing in the game. How does someone get back to Evening Star? There's a couple of ways to do it. Up to and including, let's see, actually head back out. Do it this way. Get a little bit closer to the castle. Let's show off the art assets a little bit. And again, further work is being done both on the wilderness area and the art assets. So here is the entrance to Strahd's castle. And I'm going to end the spoiler light thing here by just panning around a little bit of the exterior of Castle Ravenloft, so you can kind of get a sense of what it looks like from the landscape here on the outside. And we're going to be in here multiple times during the quest for obvious reasons. Different parts of it showing different things. You know what's funny about flying at super speed? It's actually controlled by your swim skill. So if I want to fly at super speed, I set my swim skill at like super high. How funny is that? That actually is true in-game as well on live. Like if you were to go into Reaver's Refuge and get the fly from what's his name? The Storm Reaver? It'll be controlled by your swim skill in terms of the speed. Cool. And if you do actually have the module with you, you will see that we are almost entirely faithful to Castle Ravenloft as presented in the source material. As a matter of fact, like when we're going through one of the dungeons that's in Castle Ravenloft, Torque was designing it with one of the Castle Ravenloft maps open, just kind of doing one-to-one wherever possible on it. So it's actually funny, if you have the Castle Ravenloft map from, say, a source book or whatever, you can actually use that to help navigate your way around the quest, which is pretty rad, if I do say so myself. Alright, so I think, other than going into this courtyard, I am going to wrap it up, because I don't want to go any further spoilers. Hopefully that wasn't too spoilery. I tried to keep it spoiler light, just give you a taste of what Ravenloft is going to be like, without going too deep into the plot or the quests or anything like that. And we will be having multiple previews on Lamania if you want to do that. This particular preview, we also do have a lot of the loot available as well that we're getting feedback on. In addition to this content, sentient weapons are not yet in, the raids are not yet in, and not all of the quests are in, and clearly many of the quests are in a particularly early state as well. And if you want to find out more, you can go to ddo.com/Ravenloft. You can pre-purchase it now. If you do pre-purchase it now, you'll get some goodies that you can use right away. And our release date is December 5th. There's a possibility it might slip a little bit, but that is what we're working toward, and that's looking pretty good in terms of our release date right now. So, all right. Thank you very much for watching the weekly Wednesday lunchtime live stream on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. These do go up as archives on both Twitch and YouTube at the end of every show. If you would like to join us live, we are here every Wednesday starting at noon Eastern. I will be back at noon Eastern on Friday. This will not be on Lamania. Fridays afternoon will just be probably questing on Argo or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out. So hopefully I'll see you here at noon on Friday. We do have shows all week long, including DDO As She Has Played, which is moving to 4 p.m. Eastern. Gemini actually had a work schedule change, so it's been shifted ahead an hour. So instead of starting at 5, it now starts at 4 p.m. Eastern. Thank you very much for supporting DDO Stream. We really do appreciate it. So if you would give us a follow, you'll be notified for when we go live with shows. If you subscribe to us on YouTube, the videos will be in your subscription feed. And if you like us on Facebook, you'll get these videos in addition to all the other Facebooky kind of things. All right, have fun, everyone. Hope you'd enjoyed this sneak peek of Ravenloft, and I'll be back next week on Argonesson most likely, doing questing, probably low-level questing, because I've got a TR that I'm looking to level up a little bit. So, till then, have fun. See you soon, and thanks for playing.